Ladies and gentlemen, holy Mother Moses. It
Hello
is
there.
it is Raw Ball Week 39 as we discuss the Week 14 happenings in the NFL and everything else that may enter our transom. It is the captain at the Captain 87, the number one seed in the Raw Ball Fantasy Football Podcast League, joined by the number two seed, the very poofied Devin. Uh,
Hello there.
Dev, how are you doing today? We're still waiting for our other castmates to join us.
Uh,
What is going on in your world?
I'm doing all right. Day off. Just been relaxing. Nothing too eventful today. How about yourself?
Oh God, I had a day at work to where I literally wanted to just start beating the holy hell out of people. I cannot stand human beings who are incompetent.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you there. It's been a long week.
It has. Ugh. We are soon to be joined by Mr. Matty. Uh, Gosh, what was Caplet? Oh shit, I had Black Sabbath cranked up before this whole thing started.
What?
Right?
Oh, and the insufferable son of a bitch is here.
Oh, you damn straight. The ride never truly ends, boys. I'm here. I'm only 3 minutes late, so kudos to me. Um, beer time. What did I miss other than the Broncos are going to the Super Bowl?
Well,
How are you doing?
we didn't even get to that. We were just kind of shooting the shit between the two of us. Uh,
I just got home. I literally drove to Boulder, back to the Enterprise, from the Enterprise here in like 45 minutes.
And we got what, 6 seed over here? You're 6 seed?
I'm just here for the playoffs and to knock John Rice out
yeah.
of the playoffs.
Well, let's take a look at the what have you. So Cap is the number one seed because Cap is awesome. Cap um, had a phenomenal season. The number one seed, most points forced in the league, finished with an 11-3 record. Dev is the number two seed via tiebreaker
At a
on
baby
points scored
winning by
over
default is still winning.
Yes, sir.
Nashville FC.
I'm so proud of you, by the way, Devin. At one point in this draft, you got pissed off because you were not getting the people you were wanting.
Oh, yeah, I was getting pissed off so fucking bad.
Cap is just a testament to how much he's put into fantasy football over the last 2 years.
Yeah, the amount of fucking trades Cap was able to put off to go from someone looking worried for his entire fantasy team to being first
I'm still
fucking
worried
place.
and petrified, and we'll get into why I'm worried and petrified. Matty, you are officially the sixth seed playing the number three Nashville FC.
Cap, you have said this ad nauseum about my strength of schedule and everything.
You finished the season with the absolute toughest strength of schedule out of 14 teams. 14 teams, you had the toughest strength of schedule, yet still managed to become the sixth seed. But you are playing the number three seed.
One of the scariest teams in our league.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I will say,
I'm going to be so mad if you lose.
Tomorrow morning, you will see that Matty has actually made some very strategic drops and pickups. And
well,
I don't think
once waivers process at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow, we'll have a little better understanding as to just how Matty is facing up against big Nashville FC. Dev, you are actually
my quarterback. I'm still
Mahomes. Dev plays the dummy team, the seventh seed Dallas Doormats, who finished with a 7-7 record, a computer-generated team who had all of one transaction this year. Cap is the number one seed playing Grey's Anatomy. And as I look at this team, it is essentially Christian McCaffrey and a big ass roll of duct tape.
Well, to be fair, Christian McCaffrey is
The reason
pretty
why I fucking
viable.
lost to Grey's Anatomy, so there's a possibility that you might lose too, Cap.
Hey, 2 years ago, I was the number one seed, most points forced in the league, and I got bounced by the 8th seed. It has happened, hence why I'm so petrified. However, looking at the projections, I am projected to win 131-97.
Okay.
So we shall see. But I've been in this position before. I've been the top dog and gotten the boot up my ass out the playoffs. So
But to be fair, when you did
to be fair,
those seasons that you lost, you got booted out. You didn't have Russell Wilson as your starting quarterback going into the playoffs.
No, I had Aaron fucking Rodgers.
That is where you went wrong, my friend. By the
No,
way,
Didn't
he
you
was kicking
also-
ass at
No,
that
you
time.
drafted Aaron Rodgers.
he is.
See,
not
even
coming back.
Maggie is upset when you mention that.
He's not coming back this
2 weeks. He'll be back in 2 weeks. We've been telling you this all year. He'll be back in 2 weeks. Anywho.
This week in football was really fucking weird.
To quote Jackie Gleason's Sheriff Buford T. Justice, now that the mutual bullshit is over, where are you, you some bitch? Let's take a look at the big story leading the NFL headlines. Cap's going to go ahead and share his screen here once I get this loaded up. Hence why Cap is absolutely petrified going into the playoffs. Justin Herbert, the starting quarterback of the Los Angeles Chargers, has had season-ending surgery upon his right index finger, his throwing hand. He is done for the year. Hence, Cap is now going to have to dance with the devil if he wants to win the chip. I drafted Russell Wilson. I've held on to him all year. Let that be stated. I drafted him because I like Russell Wilson.
You believed in the ride all along. I knew it, Cap. Broncos are going to the Super Bowl.
Shut your fucking pie hole. I will say the last time I won a fantasy championship in 2018, my quarterback that year was Russell Wilson. So just saying. But yes, Justin Herbert has a broken index finger, which will require surgery and will put him out for the rest of the year. Fuck you, Spanos.
That makes this Thursday's game a backup bowl. Aiden O'Connell and Easton Stick.
You think the fucking Chargers looked bad before Herbie got hurt?
Just you wait.
Oh, you ain't seen shit yet. This is going to be... Brandon Staley's got to be... He's going to be getting fired. 4 weeks left of the regular season, sans Herbie. He's going to be getting fired.
I just hope that this means more production for Austin Eckler. That's what I'm hoping for.
It'll mean more opportunities because they have no other options, but...
Holy shit. Easton Stick on the check down to Eckler. Give me 60 yards for Eckler this Thursday. Receiving.
But yes, that is the leading story tonight. Herbie is done for the year.
There's another big story, one that we, kind of kept a little quiet on early in the year because we didn't have any information on it. But the Matt Ariza, the punter from Buffalo.
Yes, I am about to pull that up. Lawsuit alleging rape against punter Matt Ariza dropped.
Okay.
So it appears as if everything we understood and believed factually from the beginning of this, if I'm incorrect, was that this young man had no part to play in this. The lawsuit's been dropped. He is free and clear as far as the weights of justice are concerned. And maybe this will open him up to a chance to play professional football.
It's been a full year and a half since he got drafted to the Bills. And that's how long this has been going on for. I feel so bad for that kid just because of how long it drew out.
Yeah.
Because it's always sketchy whenever it comes to situations like this. One that really
it is always sketchy. However,
like with Deshaun
the law played itself out, and he has been essentially proven not only not guilty but non-participatory.
Mm-hmm. And Pat McAfee followed that kid going into the draft itself, saying that he had one of the more impressive legs he saw going into that draft. Oh, does Patrick Mahomes regret that outburst?
Well, now, Cap has normally I play this for Matthew when the Denver Broncos lose a game. However, I am going to play this week for one Patty motherfucking Holmes.
The dark crash of excessive misery. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Gloom, despair, and agony on me.
It's so nice when the song's not
Gloom, despair, and agony on me. Deep dark crash and excessive misery. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Gloom, despair, and agony on me.
Patrick Mahomes turned into a whiny little bitch.
Oh, yeah, he did.
During the game, and all of us are so thrilled because of it. If anyone has seen the all-22 photo of how offsides Kadarius Toney lined up, and yet Andy Reid and Mahomes, it's like I almost expect him to go into Rodney King mode. Can't we all just get along? It's
Bro, what's great about that?
No.
I'll let you finish.
It's like Mahomes. This is how I translated his post-game speech. You know, it shouldn't matter that he lined up as offsides as he did. The fact that the referees ruined such a great play in front of Taylor Swift with a Hall of Fame tight end, Travis Kelce, making arguably the play of his career to our wide receiver to win the game, to beat the Buffalo Bills, and they had the gall, the temerity to throw a flag on that. I don't understand the NFL anymore. Are we not here to allow great plays to happen irregardless of if a player lines up off? We're here to have highlights, to have great plays. We're here to be stupendous and have these great moments. And for the referees to ruin this by throwing a flag because our guy was roughly 5 yards offsides. I don't understand this league that I'm playing in. I entered this league. I've never had offensive offsides called on me before, and now they're going to call it because of this and ruin such a phenomenally great play for a Hall of Fame tight end who now will not be able to use this in his Hall of Fame video package. I don't know I don't understand this league anymore. I thought we were here to, make great plays, to make great moments, but apparently we're here to follow the rules. And so what if we don't follow the rules? We had a great play. How can you call it? I don't know what to do here. You know what? I've got a Whataburger and a well-done steak with ketchup calling my name. Peace out, mic drop, Mahomes out. You fuckers get your shit together, because if you guys call this stuff again, T Swift may not be coming to T Town anymore, and your ratings may go through the fucking bottom. Mahomes out.
I just loved Urinating Tree's post about it because he was like, Kadarius Toney was not only offsides, he was
off state.
He was like, he's so far offsides that he is currently in the state of Colorado. He is past Kansas and in the state of Colorado.
Oh, and Andy Reid is like, well, they're supposed to give us a warning. Fuck you.
Yeah, hold on. I want to know at what point in time in any NFL game that a referee will stop the game and go, hey, you're offsides, back up a little bit. I've never seen that once. If that happens, I would love to know from a professional NFL player. But, yeah, no. Looking at that,
the amount of crack being smoked on the Kansas City sideline based upon their press conference with that call, you know, I love it even more. Fuck you, Andy Reid. I've hated your ass for the last quarter century. Go to hell. Patrick Mahomes, you're probably a decent human being, but you have been handed so much. How many calls over the last 7 years have gone your way? And now one doesn't go your way because your dipshit wide receiver doesn't understand that his forward foot is supposed to be on the line with the fucking football. He goes about 2 feet fucking forward, and you're gonna fuck you, Kansas City. Fuck your whining, your bitching. I have lost gigantic booking competitions for less, and yet somehow I did not bitch and complain as much. I just called the motherfucker out and said, hey, face me on an even playing field. You guys are saying, why didn't they warn us? Why didn't they tell us? Why weren't we given a heads up that our guy... It's your goddamn wide receiver who's lining up 2 fucking feet across the line of scrimmage for the goddamn football. Fuck you, Kansas City. Jesus, Hebrew Christ. I love it when I get to throw shit at Kansas City, but I love it even more when they are absolutely on picture, on video, in the wrong. You cannot explain that shit away. He wasn't an inch or 2 away. No, he was fucking offside, you morons. Teach your receivers how to line up. Fuck off. Hey, Raymond, we're going to be getting to the Cowboys in not too long. Hang around, chill out. We're going to be getting to the Cowboys. Cap has things to say there. Trust me, we're going to be getting there. But fucking Mahomes, Jesus Christ. Any of you guys got anything to further add to my rant there?
No, not really. I think you pretty much hit that one on the nail.
Hit that one on the nail. Well, Matty, we have
I do have
something
one
for
thing
you.
to say about the Chiefs.
Yes.
You guys aren't making the fucking Super Bowl this year.
Well, we have another headline on ESPN from Denver Broncos oft suspended defensive back Kareem Jackson, quote, not sure how to protect other players on hits. Now, you know, Cap, to quote this, Denver Broncos suspended safety Kareem Jackson admittedly hasn't learned his lesson after forfeiting nearly $1 million of salary for a series of illegal hits that have resulted in a pair of ejections, multiple fines, and 6 weeks of lost wages. That's because the NFL isn't a very good tutor, Jackson said. The 14-year veteran argues he's being singled out by the league and that the NFL has no adequate answers about how he's supposed to change his hard-hitting playing style to conform to today's game where the league scorns the collisions it once celebrated. I am, for once, if you would have asked me in August if I would have been becoming a Broncos a believer, shall we call it. But between now the fact that I have to start Russell Wilson as my fantasy quarterback in the playoffs, I'm kind of on Kareem Jackson's side here to a degree.
To a degree, because even I'm not on his side 100%.
To a degree. The NFL is their identity, what they used to be and what they are trying to be, does not. The two sides do not coalesce, and the fact that this gentleman has been suspended, fined as much as he has, it does raise a question to my mind, because he's saying, how am I supposed to play if I'm having to worry about protecting other guys? I'm a defensive player. I'm trying to hit them, knock the ball out of their hands, tackle them, whatever. I'm not trying to protect them.
I will agree to,
And a defensive player shouldn't be worrying about, first off, protecting another player. This is not pro wrestling where we're working together and trying to keep each other, alive, healthy, and gainfully employed. This is professional football. If you're a defensive back, you're first.
Uh-oh.
Did he cut out for you too?
Yeah, he just cut out. Hopefully he comes back shortly.
It's not a RAWBall podcast without something going on.
Your first idea should be, how can I hurt this motherfucker, tackle this motherfucker, dislodge the ball from this motherfucker, take this motherfucker down, motherfucker. There's a lot of motherfuckers going on right here. And this motherfucker does not understand why these other motherfuckers are trying to screw with what made this motherfucking game so great. Matty, you're the resident Denver homer, and now, unfortunately, I cannot fucking believe this shit. I'm having to, for the next 3 weeks, I can't fucking handle this shit. What?
It's okay.
No, it's not.
It's okay, Cap.
No! God damn you, fucking Spanos!
That's right.
No! Oh, fuck!
But in terms of this conversation, the Kareem Jackson incident and everything, there was 3 incidents this season involving Kareem Jackson. The first one, not intentional. The second one on Logan Thomas, holy shit, that was helmet to helmet. The third one, I still would not say was intentional. Now, in terms of how he worded that, now I understand, Cap, you and I and Devin, we grew up in the era of hard hits. Like,
God damn my life.
you're fine.
No, I'm not. I have to fucking play Russell Wilson to win a fucking championship. Okay, I'm fine.
So, yeah, what he said though, we grew up in the era of the hard hits. That's something that we would look up on YouTube and shit. The hardest hits of the season, stuff like that.
I still do that.
Unfortunately, we're not in that era of football no more. Thanks, Roger Goodell.
Yeah,
But
fucking pussy.
The way that Kareem Jackson worded that, how am I supposed to do? There is a very good example in the exact same position that he plays, who has come around and is still one of the best strong safeties, and he doesn't take people's heads off like that.
Get fined for a reason. Start hitting the refs.
Harrison Smith of the Minnesota Vikings. That motherfucker used to lay people out. And now he's found a way to adjust that hard-hitting style to just being an incredible safety and still being able to get the hard-hitting tackles that knock the ball out, but he's not, laying people out the way that he used to. Players like Vontaze Burfict and Darren Sharper, those are 2 players that never learned how to adjust or adapt to the new way that Goodell wants his NFL. There is ways to adapt your style, but Kareem Jackson saying, how am I supposed to do? That's giving me Vontaze Burfict energy, and I do not like that. Do you at least see what I mean when I say that?
I see what you mean, and I'm not a Vontez Perfect
Nobody should be a Vontez
fan.
Perfect fan.
I'm a fan in spirit, but not in practice. If that makes any sense to anyone,
Yes.
I'm a fan in spirit, but not in practice. Even if, trust me, whether it's baseball, football, pro wrestling, personal life, even if I hate you, even if I would not piss on you if you were on fire, I do not wish for you to suffer any kind of career or life threatening, debilitating injuries.
Shit, I
That is
really
not
don't wish a concussion on you.
that is not what I'm about. I never want to see anybody get hurt in any sport that I watch. I never want to see it. Friend, foe, fan favorite, guttural, hated. I don't want to see you get hurt. But
But before you
there,
continue, Raymond, we will get to your comments in just a little bit. But continue, Cap.
I mean, that was essentially I don't ever want to see anybody get hurt.
No,
But
especially
unfortunately,
in the sports that we follow.
in physical sports, pro wrestling, pro football,
Dude, even basketball, some of those leg breaks are so gnarly to watch, and it's so painful to know
well,
that.
again, those I'm not denigrating those, but basketball is, for all intents and purposes, a non-contact sport. You're not tackling guys, you're not hitting guys. Those types of injuries happen accidentally. They happen in
Like
the
the Nick,
course.
like the Nick Chubb injury. That was
Yeah,
a freak accident.
yeah.
Aaron
It's
Rodgers tearing his Achilles on the 4th play of his Jets career. Freak
there,
accident.
there's a difference between injuries that happen from someone just straight plowing your ass versus injuries that happen in the course of what have you. I don't want to see any of them. However, it's
And we've had a few examples of players who, were just dirty, dirty players. Bill Romanowski, fucking Vontez Perfect. You can even throw Ndamukong Suh in there.
yeah. We at RAWBall, we want to see everybody happy, healthy, hydrated, and not getting arrested.
Exactly.
But we also want to see the games played, and there's a fine line there a lot of times. Like baseball, 162 games. You're going to get sore arms, bruised elbows, torn ligaments,
Basketball,
stealing. There's going to
games.
be, it's non-contact. Basketball, non-contact.
Little bit more physical though, because there's a lot more physical.
A little bit
contact
more.
there. But
Football,
then
pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling is a completely different animal because there's no off season for professional wrestling.
Correct. There is no
NFL,
off season. Yes.
The NFL, there's 18 weeks, and in those 18 weeks, you see more injuries in the NFL than you do. I can probably say baseball and basketball combined.
The only sport more injury riddled than
Soccer.
any other is soccer. Yes.
And those motherfuckers are running, sprinting for how many minutes? 90?
90 plus penalty
overtime,
time.
Whatever. Yeah. So that's what the overtime shit is. Okay, that's good to know. You see, I never followed soccer.
It's essentially time added on to the end of the game that the game was stopped due to penalties. So it's kind of a.
Now, Cap, I just remembered, because we do have somebody in this chat that has played numerous defensive positions and has laid hits on people like this. Devin, what are your thoughts on the Kareem Jackson suspension, fines, everything that's come about? Again, the Logan Thomas one, helmet to helmet, that is completely unacceptable. But
Correct.
I want your thoughts on the whole, and we can throw this as the whole suspensions and fines that have been going on all season. Like, players are getting fined for putting their shoulders down to avoid a tackle. They're getting fined for blocking. Yeah, Devin, I want to hear your thoughts as a defensive player who's I've seen put hits on people.
Just sports as a whole is getting so soft now. And it's not just leaking into our football, it's leaking to our baseball, our basketball, our hockey, our soccer, legit everything's soccer. And the hits that are getting fouls and people are getting fined for this shit is fucking stupid. People are losing whole ass games worth paychecks because they want to either defend themselves or just try to do their job. They have a higher chance of getting paid more money just sitting on the sidelines than actually trying to do their job that they paid for. Because they have a higher chance of getting a fucking suspension, a foul, a fine. All of them.
It sort of cross breeds into when guaranteed contracts came in to be in pro wrestling in 1988, 89 was when the first guaranteed contracts first started. Guys weren't earning their money based on the house. They were getting guaranteed contracts that were coming in the mail every 2 weeks. Regardless of whether the house is 1,000 or 100,000, you're getting paid the same. So why the fuck try?
Yeah. It's getting fucking ridiculous.
And we've seen former players, like people who have retired within the last 5 to 7 years, you know, a Darius Butler, fucking JJ Watt. They're sitting there and going, this is ridiculous. This was not the league that I played in. Tom Brady is calling the league soft.
Yeah, and when it's a quarterback that used to get hit by some of the hardest hitting players in the league and then transitioned into modern era, he's one of probably the best people to describe how it was to get hit by the Von Millers when Von Miller first started to how he is now.
Bro,
how Ray Lewis was, Ed Reed.
Tom Brady get thrown through the air, get up and get right back onto the line.
Yeah.
And nowadays, a quarterback gets hit once. There's fucking 2 different fouls intentionally hitting the quarterback.
You've got Patrick Mahomes bitching about an offsides penalty that was clearly offsides.
He was crying like a bitch. We lost Dev.
Check the private chat. That's why.
All right. Okay.
But we can continue on.
Well, let's get to NFL Week 14 as it was. We had the Thursday night game, Patriots-Steelers. Patriots were victorious 21-18.
The Steelers gave this game to the Patriots. There's no other way to explain it.
There we go.
I'm 36 years old, and I'm trying to make heads or tails of what the fuck either of these two teams are doing. I understand the Patriots don't have a quarterback. They don't really have a good offensive line. They don't really have any offensive weapons. The Steelers have offensive weapons, have running backs, have a pretty good offensive line.
The quarterback
have a damn good defense. Quarterback is a bit sketchy, which is that's the queen on the chessboard. But still, can someone explain to me how this organization of the Pittsburgh Steelers are as fucked as they are and they can't stick their thumb up their ass in 3 tries?
And you said we don't understand what each team is doing. The Patriots should be tanking. The Patriots should stop trying.
Uncle Bill will never tank.
And the Steelers, I feel like we all know the Steelers' main objective. Rain, sleet, snow, fire, tornado. We're getting to 500 or above, and that's my motto.
I'm not dogging on Mike Tomlin, although I think he, as urinating tree, our buddy would say, is a cliche machine. The standard is the standard, the what have you, blah, blah, blah,
Bro,
blah, blah, blah,
people are
blah.
calling for Tomlin's job, though. Like, Pittsburgh fans are calling for Tomlin's job.
The Pittsburgh Steelers' problem is not a Tomlin problem. It is the fact that this team simply is incapable of understanding it. To me, it's an assistant coach, coordinator, personnel thing, specifically on offense, that they cannot get their shit together and fucking play football. I
This game is a testament to why Thursday night games are bad.
Well, all Thursday night games are bad. They shouldn't even exist. But even if this game had been played on Sunday, would it have been that much better?
No,
because
but-
both of these teams are horrible.
but both teams would have had a full week's rest.
This is because I never want to be the old guy who's like, well, back in my day, this is rah 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 rah. Okay, this was the perfect definition of a football game 25 years ago. Maybe even 30 years ago.
No.
Great defense. No. Matthew, I'm the old guy. I'm the resident old guy right now because Davey's out. This is how football games were played 30 years ago. Great defense. Okay. Neither side has a quarterback worth of shit. 25, 30 years ago, this game would have been the standard. No pun intended. However, in the modern era, when you have two teams with two great defenses, one with great offensive talent, but yet you can't get shit together. That's why this game looks so bad, is because it's being compared to what we normally get in most other games. The game itself, I don't necessarily have a problem with. The problem is neither team even tried. It felt like I was watching two high school teams in a circle jerk. I mean, if you've ever participated in a circle jerk, it's not. A circle jerk is not often always a most pleasurable experience. This is one of those games where it's like, for the love of God, can one of you two please put together some kind of cohesive, coherent offensive game plan, even with your second and third string quarterbacks? But yet, somehow the Steelers, who should have come out way on top in this on talent, here I come to save the day, the high-end talent, they still fucked up massively.
TJ Watt got a fucking concussion on the first fucking drive and continued to play. Bailey Zapp threw for 246 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He went off. Bailey Zappi did that thing.
Is there hope? Okay, well, hope for the Patriots. Obviously, they've been eliminated from the playoffs. Is there any hope for this? The Steelers are still a wild card team. We'll get into this later when we look at the Week 15 preview. The Steelers are still if the season ended today, the Steelers are still getting into the playoffs. They are still a wild card team, as shitty as they have looked.
They're gonna just keep losing now.
Oh, God. I wish I had words. Steelers, get your shit together. Patriots, get a new GM. Keep Uncle Bill as coach, but get a new GM, for the love of Christ.
He will never find his next Brady.
Brady's come once in a generation, once in a century. Hey, caramba. That meme, Matty, that you and I talked about, that I sent in our group chat of Sideshow Bob just constantly walking into rakes.
That's Bill Belichick right now.
Yeah, that's how I feel when I look at it. It's Sideshow Bob just walking into gardening rakes. Fuck. Let's get it out of the way.
This was the worst football game.
This was the worst goddamn football game ever fucking played.
It was.
I am embarrassed. I am embarrassed. God, Walter just fell down. I pounded my desk so hard.
Do you want to know the greatest part about this game?
Please.
There has not been a 3-0 game in the NFL since
the Snow Bowl game in 1982.
No, since 2007. It was the Mud Bowl between the Dolphins and shit. I know I saw it earlier on Twitter, but yeah, since 2007 there has not been a 3-0 score, and that game took place during a monsoon. This game took place in
that was the original U-Tree greatest game, by the way.
This game took place inside of a dome.
Yes.
I have no words for how badly neither team wanted to win this, and it was very apparent that it was going to be a bad game when Justin Jefferson got hurt on his first reception. And then Josh Dobbs got a concussion. And then we were stuck with Aiden O'Connell and, what was it, Nick Mullins?
Yep.
Good old Nick Mullins.
This was the worst fucking game I think I've ever had to sit and watch.
Walter, what are your thoughts on this one? Kill 'em all.
That game is one of those games parents will show their
Walter,
kids.
I do kind of agree with you. That's why you get your parliament tonight. I wish I could just sit Walter on my shoulder for the rest of the night. But yes, Walter, you are absolutely correct. Fuck every part of what went on.
As you were saying, Devin.
Jesus.
This is one of those games that parents show their kids to make them not want to play football.
This is one of those games where parents show their children why you shouldn't procreate.
You want to play football? Sit through this entire football game.
There is nothing positive to take from anything that happened here. I'm glad, ESPN, always puts the Raiders forefront in my scores just because I picked them as Raiders, White Sox. Those are my teams. So I'm glad we're getting this out of the way first. And I am by no means a Raiders homer. You've seen this throughout the months of us doing this.
I can't wait till you start getting hopeless optimism.
No, I've been a Raiders fan for 20 years. There is no such thing. Trust me. You've known me for 2 years, Matthew. There is no hopeless optimism when it comes to Cap. If this team were in the Super Bowl, I would bet against them simply because, I kind of know what they're going to do here. But yeah, this is some hornswoggle horse shit that we should be ashamed of ourselves in so many ways, but we never will because we're still living on the aura of Al Davis and 3 Super Bowls and the great run in the 70s and John Madden and yes, Maggie, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your comfort, honey. It's okay. Daddy's not mad. Daddy's just a fan of a team who absolutely sucks donkey dick and he can't do anything about it. It's okay,
Yes.
honey.
Yes,
I'll feed you your dinner in a little bit. It's okay. But yeah, I will make no apologies. I will simply accept the fact that we suck. Oh, I love you too, honey. It's okay.
All I know is that this game will be best explained by our good friend Urinating Tree because I can guarantee
This will be a
the
greatest
greatest
game.
game.
He's got a few. Well, he's got a few candidates for that one.
Oh, this one might take the cake, man. A 0-3 game.
Had it only ended in a 0-0 overtime tie, then perhaps it would have been the greatest game.
Cap, this game didn't have points scored until the
2 minutes left in the fourth
of the
quarter.
fourth quarter.
I know.
I've never
Okay,
seen
let's
a game so bad, and I've had to watch the Broncos for the last 3 years.
Okay, does Cap just have to lay on the ground and virtually let both of you piss in my mouth for me to get past this?
Not yet.
Do I have to take a golden shower to?
We'll see how your Thursday goes, Cap. We'll see how your Thursday goes. You got 2 days.
I have a question.
Oh Christ! Go ahead.
What was worse, this game or what happened to Broncos by Miami?
Oh, nothing is worse than 70-20. Nothing.
No, I'll take 3-0 over 70-20. Believe me.
Nothing is worse than giving up 70 points, Devin. Maybe giving up 73.
There's a difference between losing close because you suck and losing big time because you simply didn't have the balls to even try.
Fair enough.
You see, Denver tried and got their asses kicked. That is
Oakland tried and got their asses beat.
Buddy, Oakland didn't try. Minnesota didn't try.
I'd like to think we did.
And then Justin Jefferson got injured over that game.
I would like to think that was also a football game, Cap, but instead it was more of just an injury report retrospective because both Josh Dobbs got a concussion and Justin Jefferson got fucking his tailbone pushed through his chest.
You know what? In honor of what happened, I will bite the bullet on this one, and I will take the pain. I deserve this.
It's not usual we get it twice in one show.
I deserve this. I will take it.
Deep dark depression, excessive misery. It's a black for bad luck, I have no luck at all. Gloom, despair, and agony on me.
I will take it and I will eat it. I deserve it. Cap will take his comeuppance when they are due. Jesus, Hebrew God.
It was this was without a doubt one of the worst football games I have ever been subjected to in my life. And Cap, I don't think you can apologize enough for your Raiders. But
I wasn't apologizing. I was just taking my due penance there. That was Josh Mansfield will completely understand this. That was me going into the confessional booth and saying, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I have chosen this as my team." What have you. Buccaneers, Falcons. The Buccaneers have lost 6 of their last 7 games and are in first place in the NFC South. Can somebody please? I'm no math genius, but I have gotten pretty good at math in the last 20 years. I have dedicated myself to getting good at it. And I am pretty good at looking at equations and solving things. How the fuck Are the Buccaneers a playoff? I
The clear and concise answer. Oh no, the Raiders have the Raiders do not.
Ray, come on, quit trying to tickle my
Okay.
taint. This ain't
No.
happening.
In order for the Raiders to make the playoffs, let's see, what's your record? 5-8. You guys would basically have to run the table, and the Chiefs would have to lose the next 3 games.
Yep. Which, given the Chiefs' schedule, that ain't happening. Which we will get into,
but
a little later on. Raymond, you're jumping the gun. You can't come in the prom queen in 30 seconds. You gotta wait. You have to you have to tease the titties. You gotta tickle the taint. You gotta work the nipples. You gotta wait. You have to work this thing before you can blow your load like that.
Ain't that a fucking saying? You can't come in the prom queen in 30 seconds.
But no, to talk about how bad the NFC South is,
Ay, caramba.
would take 2 hours in itself.
That would be a show in and of itself.
There are 3 teams that are 6 and 7. There's a 3-way tie for first place in the NFC South, and then there's the Carolina Panthers.
And then there's Carolina.
Kara, not going to be in this playoffs anymore.
I think Davey has said it once before. You've got one team.
Davey has said many things once before.
You've got one team right up here. Unfortunately, you've got 2 other teams bundled up with it, and then you've got a very big gap. You have the referees, and then you've got another massive gap, and then you've got the Carolina Panthers. The Buccaneers are just they're winning in their division, therefore making them look better than the rest, and that is so depressing. No,
I can actually explain this even better, and I will allow a Oscar-winning actor to explain this for us.
The problem we're trying to solve is that there are rich, then there's 50 feet of crap. Then
that's the NFC South for you. There's no way to look past it. There's no way any of these teams should make the playoffs.
No,
they don't.
Sweet Jesus!
No team in the NFC South.
Matty. Let's for hypothetical sake of argument, let's just fast forward a year. We're all living in Fayetteville, Northwest Arkansas. We're hanging out in Cap's Rec Room. We got the big new 65-inch. We got the record player. We got the drinks. We're all of us hanging out. If we took next year and put it right here, are any of us going to be getting up early to watch Tampa Bay play in the noon o'clock wild card whatever?
Man,
no!
I wouldn't want to watch any of the NFC South in the playoffs because it's almost a guarantee that they're getting their ass kicked out.
I mean, literally, this is the game where we're waking up from a Friday night with our hangovers and just being like, oh, there's football on? Oh, wait, it's the NFC South. Fuck it, I'm going back to bed.
Fuck it, I'm going back to bed.
All right, boys. Matty is getting food dropped off real quick, so you guys carry the show. Right. I shall return.
Well, Dev, since it's you and I on this next one, the Bears defeat the Lions 28-13.
Denver's beating Detroit.
We'll get to you later, Matthew. Dev,
that game was not what I expected it to be at all.
No fucking shit. Oh, wow. Gee whiz. You think so, Mom? The Lions should have pounced in this game. Yet the Lions...
What was the money line on them?
The line on the game... let me flip back to my what have yous here. The line was Lions +7. Or no, Lions -7. Pardon me.
Damn.
The Lions should have done a full-on Mufasa and planted the Bears. Yet they got their ass whipped.
What was fucking Goff's stats for that
Jared
game?
Goff. Let me take a look at the box score here. 20 of 35, 161 yards, 1 tutty, 2 picks. That
And what
was Jared
was
Goff.
Fields?
Justin Fields, 19 of 33, 223 yards, 1 tutty, no picks. But Fields also had a rushing touchdown, and he had 58 yards on the ground. So Fields did his job.
That Fields did. That was. I really don't understand what the fuck's going on in Detroit. They were doing so good, and then they're losing to teams like the fucking Bears.
Detroit is in a very odd state right now because Detroit is. I don't want to say Detroit is Detroiting because they're well coached. They've got a good team, but they have got to get shit right. I'm going to do a correlation here. Remember back in week 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, we were saying the 49ers, like they've got to get shit right. Like they're forgetting who they are. I feel like the Lions are in this same spot right now. They have to get shit right, figure out who they are to right this ship so that they can either win this division and become a legit playoff team, or they're just going to fall to the ninth circle of hell. And there's 4 weeks. There's 4 weeks left of the regular season for the Lions to do this. So they can still right the ship, but they have the last few weeks just been bleh.
Do they have a difficult rest of their schedule?
Let's look at the Lions schedule. Lions schedule 2023. Okay, so they've got the Broncos this week. They host the Broncos, then they go to the Vikings, then they are at the Cowboys.
Ooh, that Cowboys one's gonna be a real.
And so so they host the Broncos, they are at the Vikings, they are at the Cowboys, then they host the Vikings. So 3 of those games are winnable. The Broncos right now, Dev, have you ever gone down on a piece of pussy and you were thinking, okay, this doesn't look like the best tasting thing I'm ever going to have, but it looks just good enough that maybe I'll be surprised. And you go down there, you start doing your thing, the tongue gets involved, the lips, and about 30, 45 seconds in, you're like, this was far better advertised than it tastes. That is the Lions right now. And I hate to be so graphic for anyone who has, any objections to that type of thing, but that's how I would compare the Lions. The Lions right now are what appears to be, or what did appear to be, a decent tasting, fairly well manicured piece of pussy that you go down on, and then you get down there and you're like, holy fucking shit, why did I have shrimp for dinner? This is even worse. The Lions got to get their shit together.
They are in serious need of figuring out what the fuck their problem is.
They need a manicuring. They need a good douching. They need because the actual vagina here is not bad. It's a good vagina. It's well put together. There is a lot to be loved here, but it needs a good douching and a manicure to make this thing more presentable and more edible to the prospective client. And that's about the best way I can describe the Lions at this point. They are a good piece of pussy who have forgotten their natural hygienices and are presently appearing like a $40 piece of snatch that you're going to catch syphilis from. They need to right this ship here.
They need
Uh,
to fucking start getting some wins, or they're gonna get put out of the fucking playoffs quickly.
yes, they're 9-4, but they are quickly heading down that route of, hey, doc, do I need a shot versus, hey, doc, you know, can I just get my normal checkup here and I'm free and clear? The Lions they're kind of in that borderline where you go out with a girl on a given night and it's like, okay, am I going to catch a disease or am I going to be free of disease? And with the Lions right now, you just don't fucking know. Earlier in the year, hey, I ain't catching shit. Here lately, it's like, oh Christ Almighty, I'm going to need that penicillin. At least that's how Cap tends to see things. Sorry for those of you who were offended, but that's just how Cap tends to see things. Colts, Bengals. Bengals won this thing 34-14. I liked this game for both teams in different ways. The only issue, hey, Matty, how did you like my venereal disease explanation?
I must have completely missed that. I just came back in time to say that the Lions look like shit.
Oh, Christ Almighty. I just did my comparison between the Lions and venereal disease, and you weren't even around to hear it. Fuck my life. Jesus, Hebrew Christ. Rewind the tape when the show's over and you can hear it. Rewind the tape about 5 minutes from the 1 hour and 3 minute mark, and you will hear Cap's entire take on the Detroit Lions. It was actually pretty damn good. One of my better takes that I've had all year on this program. I will say that. Anyway, we are up to the Colts and the Bengals. I continue to like what I see from the Colts despite their win streak getting snapped. I like that the Bengals continue to fight. That is great coaching. That has a lot to say about their team as a whole. But in any regard, the Bengals won this thing 34-14, and
With their third string quarterback after Jake Browning went down.
yes, they did. My opinions on both teams really haven't changed because the division the Colts are in, the AFC South, the Bengals. There's 4 weeks left, and this game, granted, the Bengals came away with the dub, but my opinion on either team hasn't really changed. It was just like, okay, I think the Colts should have won this. Bengals did win it, but I don't feel less or better about either team.
No, without a doubt, I was expecting the Colts to do better this game.
You should actually do go back in the show and do like a quick snap, like a YouTube short on my explanation between the Lions and vaginas and venereal disease. And you're getting ready to go down on a piece of pussy and you're like, okay, this thing doesn't look too bad. You get in there. Never mind, Cletus. Cletus, never mind.
Never mind.
Anyway,
The
Matthew,
Bengals looked good with.
well, you've got such a hard on for Gardner Minshew. I figured you would be the saddest one in the room on this one.
I was sad because I had Indy to beat Cincy in my parlay.
Oh, your parlay.
But the Colts did not play near as well as I thought they were going to. It's the exact same situation with the game before, the Lions versus the Bears. Neither team played like they should have against the teams that they were playing.
Correct. Next game on the list from Sunday, Jags Browns. I'm giving the Jags a pass here because obviously, yes, Trevor Lawrence played, but everybody knows he was playing on a bum ankle. You do not recover in 6 days from
On
a
a
high
high
ankle
ankle sprain.
No, the fuck you don't.
and play at 100%. And the fact that they even came as close as this. This is one of those games where the loss by the Jaguars tells me more about them than it does about the win by the Browns. Granted, Joe Flacco, I never thought on this program I would say this. Joe Flacco looked pretty goddamn good and did his job. However, long term,
If we did this podcast a decade ago, you might have said that.
the Jaguars, with their star quarterback on one leg, lost by 4 points. I feel better about the Jaguars than I do about the Browns. Folks can say what they want, but I feel better about the Jags long term this season than I do about the Browns.
Well, it does show.
Jags are going to bounce back because the fact that they only lost by 4 with their star quarterback playing on one leg, they're going to be fine. Doug Peterson is a hell of a coach.
Look at the defense that they played. The Browns were looked at as one of the best defenses in the league, and they still put 27 on them. The fact that it was a 4-point difference is what's crazy about this game.
Again, I say this game says more positively about the Jags than it does positively about the Browns.
It just makes Joe Flacco look really good.
Joe Flacco is starting quarterbacking a team in 2023, fellas. Dev, you realize this is the last time the Ravens won a Super Bowl. This was your guy.
Yeah, I know. And I don't like seeing him with the Browns at all. But I'm glad. I love to see him doing good, though.
I like seeing him wear number 15 as well.
Same.
So are you going to get that Flacco tramp stamp?
No.
Might get the jersey.
Yeah, I might get the jersey if there's no fucking Myles Garrett jerseys.
Well, this is the game where Cap is going to relieve some ballast and leave it up to you two jabronis. Saints defeat the Panthers 28-6. What the fuck happened? And I will let you guys explain this because I don't know what the
This game does not go at all by what the score says. Derek Carr was 12 of 18 for 38 yards, averaging 2.1 yards per catch. They swapped him out for Jameis Winston, and they still threw an interception. The Panthers could not do a fucking thing all game, regardless of the opportunities that they got. And that's the story of this game.
It was what it shows on the score. It's 28-6. It was nothing really much to talk about except it being a one-sided affair. The Panthers sucking as always.
It wasn't even like a one-sided affair because the Saints offense did not look good.
No, they didn't look good at all, but it also didn't help that they're fucking playing the Panthers.
No, I think it helped that they were playing the Panthers because this is easily one of the worst-led teams I've ever seen in Carolina. It has been a tragic decline for them, almost as bad as Denver's after the Super Bowl.
I think it was worse than playing the Panthers because if they were doing that bad against the Panthers as an offensive line, it doesn't really make them look any better if they're getting smoked by a way better, solid defensive.
How does your starting quarterback have 37 yards?
Averaging 2.1 yards attempt.
I love Derek Carr. I have one NFL jersey in my closet, unlike Matty, who has about 50. I have one. I have one in my closet, and it's Derek Carr. And I will always keep that Derek Carr Raider jersey because I love Derek Carr. But and granted, he has been playing through injury after injury this year. But if I'm the coach and I'm seeing how banged up and brutalized this man is, why would you throw him out there like that? I Saints are still in it to win this division. I don't give them much of a shot in the playoffs. Matty, I cannot hear you at all.
This is my new agenda. Start Taysom Hill.
Of course, that would be your agenda.
Dude, when he's on the field touching the ball, they get yards. With Derek Carr at the helm, they don't.
Well, Dev, you're our resident CJ Stroud fantasy owner. What's your take on this fucking shit show we got? Jets defeat the Texans 30-6. Where is Dev?
Give me 1 second.
Les, are you there?
Okay.
No,
Les
I'm
isn't
here.
there.
I said give me 1 second, but no, CJ Stroud getting that fucking concussion and just as how he was playing throughout the entire game. That was fucking terrible.
They also lost
made-
Nico Collins in that game.
No,
They
lost
had
him the
Tank
week-
Dell gone. They had
No,
Nico Collins.
Well, they lost
Collins.
Tank Dell the week before. They lost Nico Collins. Yeah,
And now they
Texans
don't
were-
have CJ Stroud.
It's like, okay, this is what the Texans were a couple weeks ago. It's like, okay, you're going for your great money shot. You're working for it. You're going to be hitting the face, hitting the tits. You're just going to be, spreading it all over. And then within 2 weeks, you go from having the great, Pornhub level money shot to just a little squib that hits her on the chin. That's what the Texans have been the last 2 weeks. I don't think the Texans are done. CJ Stroud just had a concussion. I say that in quotation marks. I've had concussions myself. They're nothing to fool around with. But it was just a concussion. Tank Dell is out. Nico Collins should be back. I still like this team overall. But they made fucking Zach Wilson, the MILF monster, look like he had shit going on.
I just feel bad for fucking CJ Stroud. Concussions fucking suck.
Yeah, they do. You don't know where the fuck you are.
What I want to bring up is the fact that Zach Wilson went 301 yards, 2 touchdowns. Was that 3 touchdowns? 2 touchdowns and no interceptions.
He must have pulled a Christian Caged and banged both mothers.
That might as well have gotten Nico Collins' mom at the same time as well.
Must have. Dev, your turn, brother. Ravens 37, Rams 31, final in overtime.
Holy shit, was that a game?
What? I still think the Ravens are a damn good team. I still, if you were asking me today, I would still put the Ravens. If I were picking the top 2 teams in the AFC, I would say Chiefs, Ravens. I still think the Ravens are the second best or maybe even first best team in the AFC. But here's my problem with the Ravens. The Ravens are like that great porno movie that you watch, where the first 3/4 of it, you're just completely, you're priming the pump. You're getting things going. Things are working. You're working. You're getting ready. Things are going. And then you get to the last little bit of the porno movie, and all of a sudden, some big, fat, hairy, 400-pound son of a bitch comes in just to stick his dick in the female star's mouth.
Oh,
The
Ron
Ravens,
Jeremy.
Ron Jeremy. The Ravens don't finish well, and they have shown this over and over this season. They are like the great porno movie that 3/4 of the way in, you're ready to bust a nut, and then in comes insert Ron Jeremy type actor, and you're like, and you go from midnight to 6 o'clock in about 3 seconds.
Well,
That has been the Ravens this year because they start well, but then at the end of the game, they just.
well, here's the thing, Cap.
Why?
This game was a different situation, however, because it was not like the Ravens were playing the Rams that we've seen this season and last year.
What Rams have we seen this year? They're different from week to week.
Exactly. They were playing the Rams from the fucking Super Bowl. That defense was on point. Their offense was
On point, they allowed 37 goddamn points. That's not on point.
So did the Ravens defense, which we also talk about being in the upper echelon.
Neither defense was on point this weekend, Matthew. Both defenses fucking sucked.
I will say, the offense, Cooper Kupp and Puka were on fucking fire for the Rams.
Jackson was on fucking fire.
Jackson had a damn good day. Had a damn good game.
316, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was my wagon I put on.
And Kyron Williams was really good for the Rams as well. I'm pretty sure that looked good on your team, didn't it, Cap?
Yeah, Kyron, it helped me capture that number 1 seed, but at the same time, at this point, I feel worse about Baltimore than I do about Los Angeles because Los Angeles did what Los Angeles I predicted to do. They were going to be good, but not good enough. The Ravens were they won on a kickoff return, punt return, touchdown, what have you.
And it was fucking beautiful.
Hey man,
yeah, and they could not, and their defense
you get my free ticket to tonight's game.
all year. The defense that has been
Who is my all-time favorite receiver?
Good.
Larry Fitzgerald. Yes, Larry.
Under 31 fucking points. Explain that one, Dev. Your defense could not fucking deliver. You gave up 31 points to a team you should have probably given up maybe 14 or 17 to.
Our defense ended up helping us win in the overtime, making sure that they didn't fucking get a touchdown, which led to us get that touchdown to that kickoff. We still won. We are 10-3, and what are the Raiders?
The Raiders do not factor into this equation. The point I'm trying to make is that the Ravens, as good as they are offensively, and they are pretty good defensively, they have started to show a pattern in the second half of games where they just fucking throw up their hands like, you know what, fuck it, we got Lamar Jackson. We're just not even going to try.
It's kind of the same thing with the Eagles, and we'll get to them later.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, we have our moments, but I'm still confident in our abilities and that we're gonna do well. And
Are you confident are you confident in that tramp stamp you're going to have to get should the Ravens not make the AFC title game?
There is no tramp stamp having to be made. I'm not getting a tramp stamp ever.
Damn it! I was hoping he was stoned or drunk enough that he wouldn't remember. 49ers over Seahawks 28-16, and the score belies how not close this was.
Oh yeah,
the 49ers are back. They are the best team in fucking football, and there is not even a question. This is the best 53-man roster in fucking football, and I defy anyone to point to me another one.
Yeah, like you said, it does not belie what this game was, the score at all.
This game was 52-7 in all honesty.
The Niners were putting up yards at will. They just could not capitalize whenever they got beyond the 50-yard line. They got 28 points. Like you said, they should have gotten 50 points. They should have put up a 50.
Yeah, this should have been 50-7, 50-10.
And I'm still very impressed with what the Seahawks did with Horsecock Lock at the helm, because he had no right. He had no right doing as well as he did. Didn't he have like 250 plus yards, 2 touchdowns,
and 2 interceptions?
One that was not his fault at all.
I'm impressed with
Are you
that
still
he's still in
defending?
the NFL.
Is your Denver so deep that this is almost like the Bee Gees? How deep is your love? Is your Denver so deep that you are defending Horsecock Lock at this point?
No,
No, because he refuses to support his Paxton Lynch.
He does have a point there, but no, because I dropped Baker Mayfield for hopefully to get Tommy DeVito. So,
really,
Mother sweet Lord.
Oh yeah, of course I'm going to have the full Italian on my. Did you guys see that man's agent?
Yes, I did. He looks like he is a fucking member of the Gambino crime family.
That is the most Italian man I have ever seen, next to the most Italian man I have ever seen.
I made manicotti.
Damn it.
I made manicotti this weekend, and that man is more Italian than the manicotti that I made with imported San Marzano tomatoes.
Out of baby Tommy DeVito. So hopefully I get him off of waivers tomorrow.
Well, Matthew, I put in a claim for him as well.
Okay, let's see if you threw as much money at him as I did.
Doubt it. I'm down to $15.
You definitely didn't put as much money as I did.
Well, there you go.
I think Matt dropped the rest of his bank on Tommy DeVito alone.
Always bet Italian.
Well, speaking of always betting, let's get to the big elephant in the room.
Go fuck yourself, Kansas City.
Bills 20, Chiefs 17. This was the game of the week in more ways than one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Follow me here, Matthew. Follow me. Just follow Cap.
Oh, I'm following.
You're rubbing your nips.
Yeah, because the Chiefs lost. In horrible fashion. The Broncos won, the Chiefs lost, and Mahomes cried. I am having a fantastic week.
The Broncos won. The Chiefs lost. Matty's nipples are about as erect as they can possibly be.
It's a good thing you guys can only see my upper half.
Oh, lovely.
My take from this game is this, and I'm trying to forego any Matty nipplage or personal AFC angst or anger. The Bills needed this one, as Davey commented on Sunday. The Bills had to have this one. KC has dropped 3 of their last 4.
Yes, they have. This being the first time that the refs screwed them.
Here is why. Here is why I still like KC. If I were a gambling man, I'm not. Everyone knows I do not lay bets on games, but if you take a look at Kansas City's schedule the rest of the way, they're going to win every single fucking game. There is no chance they lose another game the rest of the year. Okay, let's pull up the Kansas City schedule the rest of the year.
You have to remember, Kansas City's offense is Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and 5 grocery store baggers.
And Taylor Swift. Okay.
Is she out there catching passes?
Doesn't matter. All right, so let's look at the Chiefs' schedule the rest of the year. 4 games left. This week at the Patriots. When?
They could easily lose that game. I don't know why, but I feel like they could.
Matty, quit rubbing your nipples.
I'm not.
They're winning that one. Hosting the Raiders, they're winning that one.
They're definitely beating you guys. I'm sorry.
Hosting the Bengals on New Year's Eve, they're winning that one. At the Chargers, they're winning that. They're going to finish with 12 wins and 5 losses, which
I don't know if they're beating the Bengals.
they're beating the God.
I'm
Matty, you have hung out in my kitchen wearing nothing but jorts. Take your hands off your nips and your hand out of your pants.
I'm just saying, with the way that the Chiefs have been playing, they could potentially give the game up to the Patriots.
They're running the table.
The Patriots already beat the Bills.
Chiefs are running the table.
Patriots already beat the Bills.
Chiefs are running the table.
And Cincinnati, I don't know why.
Chiefs are running the table, Matthew.
They could. They very easily could. I'm just saying there's 2 possibilities of losses there.
2.
I don't think that they're losing in our division. They're beating you and they're beating the Chargers.
Dev, if you two were sitting together, I would give Dev permission to just throw a haymaker at Matthew right now.
Man, I'm telling the truth.
You're getting high on your own apply.
Hey, dude, you can call it naivete. I call it the fact that I've watched these Chiefs basically deteriorate before my eyes.
They have Andy Reid. They have Patrick Mahomes. They have Travis Kelce. They have the refs. And they have Taylor Swift.
Do they have the refs?
This has just been Matt's happy era.
Do they really have the refs?
Do you really think heading into a Super Bowl where Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, all that media attention, do you really think the Chiefs are not going to wind up in the big one?
Yeah. They had to break up. I understand what that feels like.
Dev, I'll thank you to shut your friggin' yapper.
But in all honesty, yes, the Chiefs could run the table. They could also easily lose 1 to 2 games in that stretch.
Well, Matthew, it's your turn. Surprise, surprise. I'm going to turn the table over to Matthew at this one because it is his time to do what Matthew does. The Broncos defeat the Herbertless Chargers 24-7. Matthew, please give us your breakdown on this entire thing. Go ahead.
First off,
I will even mute myself.
First off, Denver has beaten the Chiefs and the Bills. Both teams, not looking so good for the playoffs. However, if the Chiefs lose 2 of their next games and the Broncos win 2 of their next games, Broncos potentially could be the top spot of the AFC West. It is a very strong possibility. I can't say strong possibility, but it is a possibility that Denver goes into the playoffs leading the West. That's a dream. That's a fever dream. But God, do I want it. Yes, we beat the Herbertless Chargers because Herbert, once again, broke his finger during the game. I do wish for speedy recovery because I do like Justin Herbert.
I don't. He fucking sucks.
However, Denver did not look the best this game. Cap, you're still muted.
Now we get the playful.
You get honest me because yes, Russ threw for 200 plus yards. He threw for 2 touchdowns. He can't seem to shake this thing about turning over the ball.
3.
Oh, he had a rushing touchdown?
3 interceptions.
Yeah, Russell Wilson is definitely turning things around in Denver. Denver themselves are really turning things around. It still worries me to no end that we're going to fuck up due to incompetence on the offense because we have a Kansas City problem. We use all of our timeouts before the 2-minute warning. Always have. It's always been a Denver problem. We need to get over that, and if we can get over that, maybe, just maybe, we can win more games convincingly. Because this was a convincing win if you look at the score. They lost their starting quarterback, and they really don't have a wide receiver core. They got Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler. And one of those is their running back that they don't utilize. This game is not what the score says.
You know, Matthew, normally whenever the Broncos lose, you know what song I play. At one point, I played the Gettysburg Address.
Yes,
because your speech somehow managed to echo that of Lincoln. But I think I have found just the perfect thing to encapsulate your whole horse shit bullshit. Let him have his moment, folks. He's one game behind the goddamn Chiefs to lead the fucking goddamn division. Jesus fucking goddamn son of a...
Look at the happy couple. 2 Denver fans. And while this beautiful song is going, if I'm not mistaken, Denver was the only team in our division to get a win this week. Such a beautiful, beautiful moment.
One goddamn game behind the Chiefs for the lead of the AFC West after starting
At no point in the season did I actually have faith that the team would get this good.
I don't think anyone.
That is Beethoven's Ode to Joy for those inclined.
Uneducated. Beautiful. Because my team also got a win.
I was about to say, yes. I look forward to Denver getting bounced out in the first round of the playoffs.
Hey, as long as the next 3 weeks Russell balls his ass out, hey, Cap's happy.
I sincerely do hope for a speedy recovery for Justin Herbert because...
So, Raymond, it is your time to shine. The Cowboys absolutely decimated
And someone from our fantasy league was at that game and is a Cowboys fan. Tyson was at that game and said that it was incredible.
I do not know what to think about the Eagles at this point. A month ago, I thought this was the absolute best team in the NFL. Then the Niners started to come along. Granted, and I've heard this being said on a few shows, the Eagles looked exhausted. They have had a tough fucking run the last 5 weeks. But still, the last 2 weeks, they looked like they just did not even put up a fight.
No, not in the slightest.
And
both games were in prime time.
And they're in prime time again this week. If I'm looking at, because I have A.J. Brown, they are on Monday Night Football this week.
Oh,
yeah.
Lovely.
Raymond has pointed this out. They're second seed in the NFC right now.
Second seed to San Francisco, and they are on Monday Night Football this week against Seattle.
Which is, I don't want to say an easy win, because we always say Seattle is the grittiest team in the NFL.
Someone from Los
But
Angeles.
Seattle and Tampa Bay have been the grittiest teams. I don't see this as a layup. I think this is going to be another game that gives the Eagles fits.
I'm still, because Raymond was like, "You still going to talk shit about my team?" Yes, I'll still talk shit. I'll still talk shit about the Cowboys because they're the Cowboys. But this Cowboys team is so much different than it was the last 2-3 seasons, where they made it to the playoffs and got bounced out due to incompetence. There's not a whole lot of incompetence going on in Dallas right now.
There will be when it needs to happen. There'll be incompetence, and they will not.
Oh, dude, I almost went face first into a fucking door.
Dallas. I just hope they do a regular Dallas and fucking choke when it comes crunch time. I think the Eagles have been getting exposed lately. Their defense is not as good as we thought it was. It's not bad, but it's still not as good as we thought it was.
What did I say earlier in the season, man? Their defense was going to start showing their cracks. There's good things and bad things to drafting solely out of one college.
Very true. Cowboys are the class of the NFC, apart from the fact that they're not San Francisco. And honestly, at this point, if you were saying, "Hey, Cap, what's going to be the conference championship games?" I'm saying Baltimore, Kansas City, San Francisco, Dallas.
It'd be crazy to see Dallas get into another Super Bowl. They haven't in, 20 years?
Don't. More like the last time Dallas was in a Super Bowl was 1995.
So almost 20 years.
28 years.
Oh, shit. Almost 30 years.
The Monday night Mishigosh that we saw.
Both games ended in field goals.
Will Levis, the Mayo Man, defeated the Dolphins on their home turf. This is why the Dolphins hate December football, because they can't fucking get the job done when it counts. And the Giants, Tommy DeVito.
Atta baby Tommy DeVito. Raymond said it's our time. I know it says out, but I'm assuming he meant our.
It is not your time, Raymond. You and your Cowboys will fall and pray, motherfucker.
The Giants are, of these 4 teams playing, one of them is making the playoffs. and that's the Dolphins. And
God, I want to see Tommy DeVito in the playoffs.
either the Dolphins are going to make it to the AFC title game, or they're going to get bounced pretty quick because this team has issues. They are a very finesse team. So, we've got about 20 minutes left. Getting to week 15. Thursday night, Chargers at Raiders. We have 3 participants in our game that I've actually been keeping records of the last few weeks, so we'll evaluate this at the end of the season. I'm keeping all records concealed until then, but let's see what we got here. Chargers at Raiders. That is your Thursday night game.
I'm sorry.
I'm going
Cap.
Chargers.
I'm going Chargers with Easton's pick.
It is Vegas -3.
Yeah, it is a
Go
3-point
Chargers.
spread.
Sorry, you started news. Everyone got many when you start.
So we've got Raiders. We got Chargers.
Yeah, both me and Devin went Chargers.
I am going Raiders.
Going with your team for once.
They don't have a quarterback, so I'm thinking somehow we sneak this one out.
The way they have tour
Micah, is that you?
Shit,
Show yourself.
Did my earbuds just die? What? My earbuds aren't dead. I'm so confused.
I hear Micah.
Yes, he is here with me. Hold on.
Show yourself, you Raider hater. Vikings at Bengals. Bengals are 3.5-point favorites.
I got Cincinnati on this one.
Yeah, my camera's still glitched. But he's here. Currently coughing.
Okay, so Bengals are 3.5-point favorites over the Vikings. Thoughts?
I'm going Bengals.
I'm going Bengals. They finally realized they got Joe fucking Mixon in the backfield.
I'm going Bengals too, so that's 3 out of 3. All right, next game up these are games on Saturday. We have 3 Saturday games this week.
I don't like it.
Steelers at Colts. Colts are 2.5-point home favorites. I'm going
Colts.
Colts.
Mr. Minshew.
I think I'm going to go Indy here.
So yeah, that's a round of Colts for everybody. All right. Next game up, the Saturday night prime time. Broncos at Lions. Lions are 5-point home favorites.
Going Detroit.
Denver's taking it.
Hopefully Detroit gets their shit to fucking together because I don't want the Broncos to win anymore.
So Dev's going Lions. Matty?
I'm going Denver. You know I'm going Denver. I don't think I've bet against Denver once on this show yet.
Once. One time.
Caps going Broncos.
What? You blasphemous.
I've got Russell Wilson, you sawed-off sack of shit.
Sawed-off sack of shit.
I'm going Broncos. I need Russell Wilson to ball out for my playoffs. All right, starting Sunday, Bears at Browns.
Browns.
If Cleveland loses this game to Chicago,
Mr.
I'm going to give so much shit to Mansfield.
But I also want I want the Browns defense to do good, but the Browns offense to suck because John has Flacco.
So I'm
Cleveland.
going Browns. Dev's going Browns.
I'm going Cleveland.
All right, so that's a 3 out of 3. Next game, Sunday slate, Buccaneers at Packers. Packers are 3.5-point home favorites.
I'm taking Tampa here. Going Baker Buccaneers.
I'm doing the same.
I hate to say it, I'm going Tampa here as well. So that's a 3 out of 3 again. Next game on the afternoon slate: Texans at Titans. Titans are 2.5-point home favorites. I'm guessing.
man.
I'm guessing because CJ Stroud may or may not play. We're still waiting to see.
I'm
Well,
going Titans.
He was diagnosed with a concussion, right? So he's going to
Yes.
he's going to be out of this week's game. I'm going Will Levis and the Titans.
Unless he passes protocol. I'm taking Texans here.
I'm going Tennessee.
I think Stroud
Tennessee.
plays. All right. Jets at Dolphins. Dolphins are 8.5-point home favorites.
Going the Dolphins.
I'm going the Dolphins, especially after them losing this last Monday.
They may put up 70.
I would laugh my ass off if they did.
All right, so we're pretty well in agreement there. Chiefs at Patriots. Chiefs are 9.5-point road favorites.
Are you ready for this?
Patriots.
Oh, crap. Chiefs.
Wait, Devin,
Chiefs.
you went Patriots too?
Yeah. Come on,
Good.
Zappy.
Good Christ. You guys are smoking something I don't even want to be in the realm of the fumes of. Giants at Saints. Saints are 6-point home favorites.
Always bet Italian. Also, the Saints look like dog shit, so the Giants.
Saints.
I've looked at everything, and I hate to say this, I'm siding with Matthew. I like the
And
Giants
I'm
here.
fucking crazy going for the Pats.
I like the Giants here.
If
I don't know how or why they are still in the playoff hunt. I like the Giants here.
If the Saints start Taysom Hill, they're winning the game. But until then, atta baby, Tommy DeVito.
Atta baby.
Atta baby.
I'm so going Saints. I love Tommy DeVito with the hype he's got, but other than that, Saints.
I'm going Giants here against my better judgment. But Falcons at Panthers. Falcons are 3-point road favorites. I am taking Falcons here.
Devin, you go ahead.
Felt like mine was pretty simple answer, honestly.
I've been saying it all season. This is the game that the Panthers could win.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, they should try to tank even more to try to get better draft capital.
Bryce Young looks scared out there. The Falcons
Because he's petrified.
The Falcons realize they have Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson. I will be pissed if this is the game that the Panthers win, because this could be the game the Panthers win. I'm going Atlanta.
I'm going Atlanta too. So that's 2 out of 3 for the Falcons.
Wait, who went Carolina?
Dev.
No.
Oh, so it's
I
3
went
out of 3.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay. I misunderstood you.
I was about to be
No,
like, I don't think Devin went with Carolina.
No, I was talking shit about Carolina.
Okay. The late afternoon slate. Commanders at Rams. Rams are 6.5-point home favorites. Rams.
I'm going Commies.
I'm going Rams. They played really well last week against us. I like what I saw with the Rams when they played us.
So we got a 2 out of 3 Rams over Commies.
I like Sam Howell.
All right. 49ers at Cardinals. 49ers are 13.5-point road favorites.
This is going to be a clean sweep. I think we're all going 49ers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Pretty straight.
let's not even fuck around. Cowboys at Bills. Bills are 2.5-point home favorites.
Raymond, this is the first time this season that I confidently am going with Dallas. I am confidently going Dallas this game.
I don't know. Cap?
I'm taking
Your
Cowboys.
thoughts?
No, I'm taking Cowboys here.
I think I'm going to go Buffalo.
So we've got a 2 out of 3 for the Cowboys. All right. Sunday night, Ravens at Jaguars. Ravens are
Baltimore.
3.5-point home favorites.
Baltimore Soldier.
I'm riding with Baltimore here as well.
I'm taking the Jaguars.
Is Trevor Lawrence going to do more than just stand in the pocket and hurl it 2 seconds after he snaps it?
I think this is a trap game. I think the Ravens are going to be looking past the Jags. I'm taking Jaguars here. Would I bet it? No, but picking it, I'm doing that. Monday night, Eagles at Seahawks. Eagles are 4-point favorites. I'm taking Eagles.
Eagle.
I'm taking the grittiest team in the NFL. I'm taking Seattle here.
Oh.
Interesting.
Philly has shown cracks. I think Seattle is going to capitalize on it.
So we have 7 unanimous picks, and then others various between 1 out of 3 and 2 out of 3. So of the 7 games, we're all going Bengals, Colts, Browns, Bucks, Dolphins, Falcons, Niners. Those are the games we agree on.
Hey, man, those are pretty obvious games, though.
Yeah.
To answer Ray Ray's question, to not forget about Ray Ray, what about rumors that Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch leaving WWE because of CM Punk? I think those rumors are complete and utter bunk. But
Seth Rollins is not leaving WWE. Becky Lynch can totally leave WWE and start an acting career. But no, Rollins is going to play ball if Punk plays ball. And the way I think it's going to go, they're going to play ball. And Seth Rollins is the biggest WWE company guy they've had since John Cena.
Yeah.
Well, Matty, just because I know last year we have some breaking news. Based on Matty's draft strategy last year in our fantasy baseball league, the Giants have landed a huge signing.
Well, I will let you know that I am going a completely different route for this year's draft. I will not say it, but it will definitely, hopefully, help me out in this year's baseball.
The San
draft.
Francisco Giants have agreed on a 6-year, $113 million deal with outfielder Hung Hoo Lee.
Sounds like this motherfucker hits dingers.
Sounds like this motherfucker hits dingers.
Son of the Wind.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of story going into this kid apparently, and I don't know. Interested to see what he does. He comes from the KBO, which is the Korean baseball organization. So,
How old is he?
25.
Yep, I see that.
Well, that is the most recent news of the day. We've got about 3 minutes left. I talked with Nick from Wrestling Legion. Cap will be participating as a judge next Monday, the 18th, for the next edition of Wrestling with Your Thoughts booking contest. I am absolutely honored and beyond overwhelmed that I would be asked to be a judge in this contest. It will be Matty going against
Sir Devin Andrews.
Sir Devin Andrews. Cap will be there as a judge. I am looking forward to what these two fellows put on. I'm again. I told Nick I am beyond honored and overwhelmed to even be considered for this particular position, and I look forward to it. I've been doing a lot of booking wars over the last year, and I told Nick, hey, I'm not saying I'll never do a one-on-one booking again unless the right opportunity presents itself. But as for now, I will be more than happy to appear as a judge or an assistant or as a team for whatever. But Cap's done with one-on-one booking wars for a while just for my own sanity. But the fact that I get to appear as a judge in one of these is like, whew, all right.
Takes a little off a little bit. Now you get to enjoy the show.
Takes a
How
lot
are you
off.
feeling, Matt?
I get to enjoy it.
What, Devin?
How are you feeling about participating in one and competing?
I haven't done one of these in a minute, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yep. And we got Greg Cherry tomorrow night. Will you be appearing?
I will be appearing on Greg Cherry. He will
All
also
right.
be having a Christmas episode this Saturday. I hopefully will appear on it at least for a little bit. I know. Yeah, it's a very busy week, very busy month. I think this is stream number 4 of like 16 that I'm doing this month.
Crew Day.
Crew Day on
this week.
Thursdays.
Crew Day on Thursday.
I don't.
And
think we have
also,
Go
well,
ahead.
we are also in the works. For those of you fans of the channel, a great guitar player, Dave Holland, who has been dealing with some family issues, hence why we weren't able to get him on recently. He messaged me. He is ready to start his deep dives on our music side of the RAWBall podcast.
Into the vault, if you will.
Into the vault, if you would, yes. I am still waiting on official notification, but it's possible this Saturday night. Any of you music fans out there, it is quite possible it will be the captain solo interviewing the one and only Dave Holland as we begin a deep dive on great bands of all time. I am incredibly looking forward to this because if you're telling me maybe once or twice a month I get to sit with Dave for 2 hours on a Saturday night
and talk
and
music.
drink beer and talk music, oh, Cap is I'm rubbing my nips. That you see that
And
right there.
And
Right there.
as always, ask questions in the chat because I know Dave Holland would love to answer questions that you guys have on the band at the match.
Yes. Well, we're still waiting to find out. But once for sure I hear from Dave, I will post it on Twitter and we'll be ready. Check out String 'em Up, his YouTube instructional guitar channel. This is the man who pretty much made me the guitar player that I was and allowed me to earn a living from playing guitar for a few years. Trust me, this guy is the man. Check out String 'em Up, his YouTube channel. If you are an aspiring guitar player, he will teach you everything from Mozart to Metallica. He is phenomenal.
All right. And Devin, do you have anything to point out before we get off air?
I'm going to continue to win in these fantasy football games, and I am going to win this fucking playoffs.
You got to get by me.
Hey, you got to.
Oh, you won't even be there by the time I get there, buddy.
Oh.
I'm gonna be lucky to get by in my team. So,
I'll get revenge for you. Don't worry.
but
Because if he beats you, he has to come up to me.
I will say this is the part of the show where I remind all of you to stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated, don't get arrested. Ball out with the Raw Ball podcast, and we will see all of you next time.
Yes.